Welcome to the final part of T2. We are now doing the Dark Fate ending. To unlock this ending, you have to be the one to pull the trigger on Dyson. So, you just reset the chip, everything goes as normal, especially the nuclear dream sequence. That still scares the shit out of me as an adult, especially looking at current events. And speaking of which, we are only 3 years away from 2029. The future war is here, damn it! It's time we fuck everything up. And believe it or not, Dyson was probably the second most important character to actually stop Skynet, right next to John Connor. Terminating him means terminating our future. And look at this, T-800 and John were barely out the door. Cops are already here. What kind of response time is that? Especially for Dyson, who is, well, my skin color. I'm not even gonna go there. Anyway, a lot of the sequences are going to be the same. I will abridge this by fast forwarding through some of this, but just so you know, the bad ending, some of the sequences are the same as the other bad ending. Which actually, kind of crappy outcome for Sarah Connor. You got one good ending and two bad endings. Or a bad ending and a worse ending. Sarah just can't win. You can't win! Anyway, here's the police station again. Pretty much the same as the other run. You want to watch out for the cops in the suits. They will duck and shoot as opposed to shoot for head level, so you want to slide underneath their shots or jump over them. The birthplace of Skynet! Alright, so here's Cyberdyne. Pretty much the same. You have to plant all... I said 8 bombs before, but it's actually 9. Place 9 bombs across the facility. Watch out for the riot shield guys who look like Leon Kennedy. You should be in Requiem. What is he doing here? I said this before, but if you slide into the riot shield guys, you can knock their shields loose and open them up to grab. Which actually I can't do with an assault rifle. You can do it with a pistol, but not the AR. Not that I'm too pressed about that, because the human shield is kind of lame. Like I've said before. You are protected from the front, sure, but it only takes one shot to kill that guy. And you're still exposed in the back. Not to mention you move slow. Slower than a snail in molasses, I'll say. Alright, so we don't play as the Terminator here like we do in the other bad ending. But the Terminator, the original Terminator from 1984's arm is still in Cyberdyne. So that bit of evidence is still there. Okay, apparently the original Terminator from 84 was the T-101, not the T-800. I might have been naming that Terminator wrong, because I thought they were both 800 models. But I guess not. Unless somebody corrects me in the comments or something. I still don't know everything about the Terminator lore. I just know enough things that matter. Who knows, maybe the T-101 is like the skin or the skeleton of the 800 or whatever. They're always gonna make new Terminators. It's gonna be freaking T-2000 bitchin' badass radical 90s. Yeah. Instead of liquid metal, it's liquid nitrogen. Anyway, here's the liquid nitrogen. What the fuck? Anyway, here's the steel mill again for the final time. For the first time, for the last time. You know, honestly, what disappoints me about the different endings is not so much the endings, but the stages are relatively the same. That's the disappointing part. And this part's the same. Honestly, there could have been an ending where T-1000 just wins. Just straight up wins and kills Sarah Connor and John Connor. Why don't we have that ending, guys? Just go crazy with the what ifs. What if Reese went to 1995 instead of 1984? That would be interesting. But then again, that would be a totally different game. It's over. I need a vacation. That's my line. And there's something else we need to destroy. Oh wait, we're missing the arm. Fuck. You know, if Sarah were to crush the arm of the Terminator 10 years ago, none of this would have happened. But now it's happening. And John is pissed. And honestly, I don't blame him for being pissed. He was just playing Afterburner and... what was that other game? Missile Defense? Missile Command? He was playing those games and now he's just in a life of shit. Because all of this happened. Although if you're playing Afterburner, you kinda deserve that life of shit because Afterburner sucks. Skynet still became self-aware. It was all for nothing. Actually, I probably should explain why I don't like Afterburner. It's because I don't like how the game moves. It's too quick. And also everything hurts my eyes. It's just like the scrolling hurts my eyes in Afterburner. That's why it sucks. It's just a mess of pixels on the screen, and I kinda wanna vomit. It's my job to save him, to fix my past mistakes. Redemption! It's probably not gonna be a redemption. So we're gonna slightly speed it up again because this is the same level as John Connor's as well as Sarah Connor's Bad Future. The other Bad Future. Now don't get me wrong, this is a great game, but it does copy and paste a little bit too often. Especially with the Bad Future stuff. I feel like there should have been, in addition to the police station, there should have been at least 1 or 2 more new levels. Just 2. Maybe 3. But yeah, I feel like the game would have been a lot more replayable if the pathways to the endings were different. Not too much the endings in themselves, they are different, but the pathways to them. Though you did play as the Terminator in that one brief segment in Bad Ending A, it was only a brief segment, and I definitely wanted more of that. I should be getting closer to the final boss of the... oh, dog! Robo-Dog. I still don't understand why Terminators have dogs if they don't like dogs and dogs don't like Terminators. Makes no sense. Stupid lore stuff. It might just be a video game thing and video games can get away with whatever the fuck they want because they're awesome. Anyway, here's the final bosses. The T-808s. Anybody can tell me how Sarah Connor can single-handedly take down T-808s when John Connor's having an issue? Why is he locked up, man? Come on. I expected more from the commander of the Future Resistance, but maybe I was wrong. Anyway, the T-808s here, they shoot in predictable patterns like crazy, and they'll attempt to jump on top of you, but you can just slide through them and you'll be fine. Another thing you have to worry about is that killing one 808 doesn't necessarily end the fight. You have to destroy both of them in order to finish it. You can tell how much damage you're doing just by degradation of the character sprite, which is a neat touch. And with that, that was Terminator 2D, No Fate. Just rescued John here. God damn it, we should have kept Arnold. John, you wake up. You hear me? Wake up, goddammit! My son is gone, and with him, all hope. The Resistance continues to fight, but without John leading them, they're barely holding on. Humanity needs a new savior, but it can't be me. I couldn't even save my own son. Forgive me, John. I don't think he can, Sarah. I don't think he can. There is no future without you. Happy credits music. Yep, here are the credits to Dark Fate, or Dark Fate, no Fate. And I will say this is a pretty kick-ass credits theme. It loops way too quickly though, which is kind of a shame. But with that, Terminator 2D Dark Fate, I keep calling it Dark Fate, fuck. No Fate, it's a really great game. Pretty great action for a side-scrolling platformer. It is on the shorter side though. Might take you about, hell, not even an hour, like 45 minutes just to beat one playthrough. The game does give you 3 different endings, but the ending pathways do feel samey, so just be forewarned. No Fate also has a more archaic continue system for when you have to use lives, but that's only on normal and hard difficulty. Easy, you have infinite tries. For what it's worth, this is definitely a great buy. I do suggest maybe wait for a price drop to like $19 or so, because I think this is $29. And I think the game is a little bit too short for the price tag, but you know, definitely still a good game. Anyway, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, I am back from my extended break, way too extended to be honest. And I'm recording games even as I speak, so the next game on the lineup, it's actually an impromptu game. I wasn't planning on doing this originally, but it's going to be Injustice: Gods Among Us. Another fighting game for the channel, actually my 3rd one to be honest. Crazy to think about. Anyway, my name is Don, this has been Terminator 2D, and I'm out of here. See you guys later.